Hello, thanks for stopping by. Today I have some trash to treasure projects to share with you. I picked up this sign at the thrift store. It's basically someone painted over a picture, but it's really nice heavy canvas. I paid 98 cents for it, and it's really sturdy and a very good size to work with. Then I also have, absolutely free to me, these wooden trays that say Teleflora 1982. These were found on the roadside when someone in my neighborhood moved out, and I have a pair. And I'm going to make these three pieces go together in a grouping. I'll be using contact paper, Dollar Tree ribbons, matte black acrylic paint and a brush, Dollar Tree Spanish moss, scissors and twine, hot glue, and the star of the show, Sola Wood Flowers. This is JunkerNecker DIY. DIY number one, I'm going to start with that large picture. And the contact paper I picked up at a discount store for about $3, and there's tons on the roll. It looks like early 1900s, maybe 1800s newspaper clippings. Very cool. And I'm just measuring out where to cut. Now I'm going to be hanging this with the original hanger in a vertical position on the wall. So I've got to cut some of that off the side. So now that I've got the length, I've got to cut the width. You don't know how to use scissors. Why am I even showing this? Now I'm not cutting it wide enough and long enough to actually go over the edges. I'm just going to put it right on the front of that picture, leaving that black border on the outside. So there we go. Now I just need to peel off the backing and stick it down. Yeah, I was checking myself, making sure I had it right, because the pictures are running in a certain way, even though they're catty-cornered and such. I don't want to hang them upside down because you wouldn't be able to read it at all. And there we go. Just smooth it down. I'm going to flip it over and cut off the excess with my X-Acto knife from Dollar Tree. I don't think I put that in my supplies that I listed at the beginning, but oh well. Everybody's got an X-Acto knife, don't they? They should. They sell them at Dollar Tree now. Once I got all that excess off, I'm starting to look through my flowers to see what I want to put on there. I love those flowers, but I thought that the brown on there was a little bit too much on that. I think that just the off-white of the background with the off-whiteness of these flowers look better. Still, I need a little bit of separation on that, so I'm going to use Spanish moss. I'm just going to pull a hunk out of there. And spread it apart so it's not so clumpy. What I'm going to do is just glue it down and then doodle out little holes for the Sola Wood Flowers after I get that Spanish moss glued down. Now I'm using a liberal amount of hot glue. No way is that falling off the wall. And pat, pat, pat. Now I'm going to put some hot glue on those flat backs of the flowers and stick it down to the sign. Doodle out a hole and stick down a flower. Yeah, I did decide to put a couple of those with brown in there. Now I'm putting some Dollar Tree polka dot ribbon, just a little bow, just to add a little interest in there. I'll pop that bow down right there. I thought it was cute. I thought it went along good with the newspaper. And then I made a teeny tiny bow. That's also Dollar Tree ribbon. It's the lacy look. And there's a sneaky peeky of what it looks like hanging up. I will show you all the projects all together at the end. Now DIY number 2 is the wooden trays, of course. I've had these for well over a year, maybe 2 years. Anyway, I cleaned them when I first brought them home, but they've sat in my stash and got dusty, so I'm just wiping them down with some alcohol on a microfiber cloth. And then I'm going to be taping off the sides because I don't want any of my paint on the outer edges of the trays. And I go all the way around with that. Now taking that black matte finish paint, I'm not using a paint plate or paint bowl, whatever, paint receptacle. I'm just putting the paint right onto the brush, getting down in those creases and going up the sides. This is where having good brushes will make short work of what you're doing. I'm just letting the brush glide off the edge. Now I'm taking the pieces that I cut off the side of that larger picture, and I just cut that in half. I don't know why I didn't measure better than that, but anyway, I was in a rush. Took the backing off, stuck it down in the center, and then just spread it out and kind of made a score line with my nails all the way around the edge, trying to get it into the corners good. And then Dollar Tree X-Acto knife again. I'm gonna go right down that score line, taking my time. The corners were the tricky part. The second one, I had my smarticles going more on that one because I just put it into a corner, and then I only had to cut down one side and across the bottom, and instead of two sides, top bottom. I don't know why I wasn't thinking before. Now for these, I'm going to take a little roll piece of the Spanish moss. I just kind of twisted and rolled it. It kind of looks like a bird's nest, and then hot glued it in the middle. Yeah, it looks more like a circle where the other one was more oval shaped, but I'm just ripping a piece out of the bag and twirling and whirling and spinning, and bird nest. Dump out the trash. Put down some glue. Stick it. Smash. There we go. Now same thing with the other. I'm doodling out a place, and I'm only putting one flower on each on that Spanish moss here. And that one's called a sunflower, windy sunflower. And the other one's called Distressed Daisy. Now I'm going to go right into those corners for a little more interest and put these flowers that are called Heath, that's got a little skin still on them. A little bark, I think they call them skin. I don't know, something like that. And then polka dot ribbon again. I'm going to pull off enough off the roll to make a little bow. It's going to look like what they call a shoestring bow, but basically I'm just squishing the middle together and tying twine around it. and then gluing it in the center of that bottom handle. Now I'm going to do the same thing again, so watch if you don't know what I'm talking about making these bows. Cross the ends over, squish everything in the middle, and tie a piece of twine around. Just like so. Super easy. Pretty bow every time. Now for the lacy ribbon, I did the same thing but didn't leave out excess for the tails. I just tied them inside like that. Cut the extra twine off. Fluffed out my little loopies. And glued it in the middle. Boop. Now for the hanger on the back. Goodness knows I've got a ton of hangers around here somewhere, but can't find it when I need it. So I'm making a hanger with this piece of cardboard I picked up off the desk and some ribbon that was laying nearby. I'm just gluing the ribbon on like so. Hot glue, of course. And then I'm going to put a generous amount of hot glue on the same side of that cardboard and press it down at the top part in the middle of that tray. That way the ribbon's kind of sandwiched in between the cardboard and the wood. I don't really need anything to hold a lot of weight because these are very light. And there they are. There's my grouping. Doesn't it look good? I'm proud of it. I just added in a couple of those bicycle wheel wreath forms from Dollar Tree. I thought they went along well with the 1800s looking paper. I mean, it makes my eyes happy. So, there we go. Trash to treasure. Only a few dollars involved in this project. Thank you so much for watching my video today. And I would love it if you'd give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Until next time, bye-bye.